What's going on, guys? Welcome back to TTML Division 1, this time for the British Grand Prix, round number, shit, what round is this? I've completely forgotten. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, so welcome back to some more Division 1 action here for the British Grand Prix today. Kind of a similar story to the last few weeks, not quite a full grid, so should be pretty close, pretty interesting. I'm confident of at least a top 5 around here. Obviously we did win the EML Premier Series not too long ago around here with a very intense and a very cool fight with Csl on the final lap. If you haven't seen that video, I do seriously recommend you go check it out because that was absolutely awesome. But anyway, we'll move on from that one and switch over to now draw qualifying, drawing the race as well, which is good. Don't have to worry about running around in the rain. So yeah, we'll head out for qualifying here now. And as I was saying, I was confident that I could get into the top 5, but I also knew that particularly around a place like this here at Silverstone, the lap times were going to be ridiculously close. And one mistake could probably cost you like 3 spots or more. So yeah, it'll be very, very tricky to really nail a lap around here. And well, we'll see where we end up at the end of the session. Everybody in the same boat as well, obviously. But anyway, although I must say, it did say it was dry, it does look pretty average around here right now, doesn't it? Very grey, overcast. So track conditions not ideal here for qualifying, but anyway, won't worry about that too much. On to our first run of the session here. Our teammate Csl Elite already in the 123s for a banker lap. That is just crazy fast. We come across for a 124.2. That was a pretty crap lap, to be honest. That really wasn't that good in any way. So yeah, come in, put a new set of boots on, and we're out for our second run of the session now. Purple to the middle sector. We got a decent run through maggots and backets there, about not quite 2.5 tenths up. As we flick it through stone now, very easy to track extend on the exit there, but we just about avoid doing that. Through to the final 2 corners now. We get through there semi-decently. That definitely could have been a lot better, but we come across for a 123.991. Only puts us P5. And as I was saying, that really wasn't a good lap either. I knew I at least really needed a 23.7. So yeah, that's the aim here. Csl Elite 23.5. We did give him a toe on the back straight, just a heads up. But anyway, let's ride on board for our fastest lap and see if we could find that 2 tenths we're missing. Alright, and here we come out of the final corner. Sadly, we're not going to improve by that 2 and a bit tenths that we need. We're going to come across for a 123.848, which almost matches our EML Premier Series pole time. But unfortunately, that only puts us in P7. P7 on a 23.8. That is absolutely ridiculous stuff. And, well, you're about to see just how close the qualifying really is. I mean, look at that, for crying out loud. Our teammate Csl Elite gets pole on that 23.5. Venom in P2 on the 23.6. Then medium pilot Csl Lando, the 2 racing points, 3rd and 4th on 23.7s. And then, 4 cars, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, all on 23.8s. So we could have definitely probably been P5 at least. But anyway, we can't really do much about it now. We've got to just try and get on with it the best we can now. We're not in a real good spot to start the race, but we've just got to try and make the best of what we've got. I'm hoping that the race pace will be a bit better than the qualifying pace, as it normally is. But anyway, we're about to find out whether that is true or not. Recon just ahead of us. You got Dobby just behind us. So yeah, we've got some quick guys around us. Well, I mean, 95% of this field is ridiculously quick almost every week. So yeah, can't really rule anyone out of maybe a cheeky move if something goes wrong. But yeah, anyway, we're back on the grid, getting ready to roll. 5 red lights, and away we go here for the British Grand Prix. Looks like a fairly average start, it must be said. Immediately I make a really bad decision off the start there. I went into the middle of the racetrack, and that allows Tamo in the Red Bull, who got a really good start, to go clean around the outside and takes P7. We're going to try and get him back in turn 3 and 4 here round the outside, but we just don't quite have the grip and the traction, and we fall to P8. So not a real good start immediately. Dropping a position there, which is not what we needed. We needed to gain spots off the start, and we've done the polar opposite of that. We've gone backwards. Recon makes a little mistake through the left-hander there. We're going to try and see if we could sneak back up the inside of the Tamo. Sadly, no way through on the Red Bull. He is a reserve, keep in mind as well, but that doesn't mean he's not entitled to race, and he's doing a pretty good job of that at the moment, it must be said. So anyway, for us, as I was saying, not the best start. We're down to P8, but more importantly, we do still have our front wing. We're still in the train, so you know, we're still well and truly in this race to get a good result. But here we go. Rich overtakes Slipstream onto Tamo. Looks like he's trying to fight this, which I was a little bit surprised about. Up the inside into Stove, side by side with the Red Bull. Still there on the inside. Squeezes us a little bit, squeezes us quite a lot actually. That was quite uncalled for, and contact again in the penultimate corner. Really scruffy end to the first lap here with Tamo, and I will confidently say, while this race was actually happening live, I was pretty annoyed about that. And as you can see into turn 3, he's going to try and come back at us here, and this was really annoying because, as I said just back a few corners ago, he is a reserve here in Division 1, and he's racing me for P7 like it's the lead of the race or something on the final lap. So yeah, I didn't really understand that, but anyway, we'll move on from that to the end of lap 2. We got the hammer down, we got back within the 1 second window of the guys ahead. Fastest lap of the race, 1:27.9, not too bad. And yeah, now thankfully we are back on to the back of the queue, and yeah, now it's kind of just a waiting game, to be honest. It's so hard to pass around here, especially when the slipstream train kind of, you know, all forms up and everybody just you know, slots into position. It's so hard to make a move. It's so hard to break DRS as well, and yeah, it's just it's quite annoying, to be honest, especially when you're kind of stuck towards the rear end of the train. But anyway, we just got our first warning of the race on the exit of Stowe there, so not really ideal. But anyway, on to lap number 6, personal best in sector 1, so we're still riding at quite a red hot pace, it must be said. But yeah, same story as a couple of laps ago. No one has been able to make moves, which is really annoying, because I feel like a couple of people are really only up here, to be honest, because they've just got the DRS keeping them in play. But you know, as I said, it's really hard to break it, and so easy to stay in it, and quite a few people are demonstrating that right now. But anyway, to the end of lap 6, we have our very first blinker into the pit lane. I think that was XL Lando out of position number 2 at the time. So we're going to respond on the very next lap to hopefully try and get an undercut on some of these guys. And I think who is that? TTG Venoms has come in as well. More than likely putting on a set of mediums, as you just want to stay off the hards around here. They're absolutely horrible. And mediums will easily make it from probably lap 4 or 5 even. But you really don't want to stop until probably lap 8 at the earliest. So that's what we're doing here. Onto a set of medium tyres. And yeah, hopefully we can make this work. Come out somewhere near maybe 1.5 seconds behind. Bullet Boy fastest lap of the race there. And it looks like he's actually going to jump us. Now, I wasn't too fussed about him getting ahead of me, but I was hoping I was actually going to come out within DRS range. And as you can see, that has not happened. We are 1.4 seconds behind the Haas driver, and more importantly, effective P2 and I think P4 on the road there in Lando and Venoms. They're 2.5-3 seconds up the road, and they've got DRS and we don't, so we are really not in a good position to do anything in the back half of this race at the moment, as Recon gets all sideways out of the turn 3 there. Now, interestingly enough, he's got the hard tyres on, or he's got the hard tyres on, excuse me. Now, I can say after the race, that was actually, I think, a mistake from him, as I think he was saying he did select mediums, but for whatever reason the game put him on hard. So, yeah, that's a little bit awkward. But speaking of awkward, second contact with Recon in as many corners there. So, yeah, that's not really ideal. But anyway, a few moments later, and we're going to get by Bullet Boy on the back straight with DRS. I think he just pulls over and lets everybody go there. Knows he's not really in the fight, as I think he got a jump start or something actually. So yeah, he is out of this race completely. But yeah, for us, kind of a bit stalemate at the moment. 2 seconds behind the next car. Recon retires in the pit lane. A bit surprised by that. I thought he would have tried to continue on actually, but no, apparently not. But anyway, getting back on with our race, onto lap 11. As you can see, we are just outside of the DRS range of Venom and Medium Pilot, and that is a battle for the podium, keep in mind. So I burnt everything I had to try and get back within that 1 second window. And yeah, even doing that wasn't enough, which was really annoying. But anyway, Ditamo got past us on the back straight. I just decided to let him by. I think that was IMD retired in the pit lane as well there. And well, as you can see at this point, I let Ditamo go, just simply thinking, okay, if he has quite a bit of ERS, I can slot him behind him. Maybe he can try and you know, catch up to the guys ahead, and you know, we can get back in this fight for you know, maybe top 5 at least. But unfortunately, I make another bit of a stupid mistake here. I didn't deploy any ERS, thinking that Bianchi in the Ferrari there would basically be thinking exactly the same as me, trying to turn the engine down and save a bit of ERS. But nope, he had the polar opposite idea. And yeah, fair play, he just caught me napping. I wasn't paying enough attention. And yeah, he got by. So from not quite making it into the fight for the top 5, now it looks like we'll be struggling to yeah, to even finish P6. And let's not forget as well, look behind us, you do have F1 Dobby there on the mediums, but more importantly, Pepetum is behind him on the soft tyre. Now that's crucial, because he will be on the back of us very, very quickly, and we know from past experience just how quick the Ferrari is. When he gets moving, it is almost impossible to keep up with him. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes when he catches up to us. His pace really hasn't been as impressive, I will say, as I think a lot of people expected. But anyway, on to lap 23. And at this point I was really starting to, I don't actually know what the word is I'm looking for, but yeah, the temp was really rising to to kind of put it bluntly. I'll use a Kurt Busch line. I think the car's temp was 120 and yeah, mine was 500. I was not enjoying this race at all at this stage. I was really starting to get annoyed. As you're about to see right here, we go for a dive on Bianchi into turn 3 there, and well, that didn't really accomplish anything at all. And yeah, at this point the frustration was really starting to creep in. I was probably driving with more anger than what I was with common sense at this stage, which is something I'll try and avoid. But you know, when you're doing absolutely everything you can and you're just stuck in this kind of situation, as we make more contact with Bianchi in turn 3 there, and well, I can't blame him for that, that's totally on me, but yeah, just at this stage, yeah, I was really just, I wasn't enjoying this at all. I just wanted to get by and just get this race over with, but I can't deny also at the same time this was a fun battle in a way, particularly the last 10-15 seconds of this. We're still going side by side on the run down to the old turn 1, but we do actually get by, but unfortunately it doesn't really count for much, as on the exit we pick up a 3-second time penalty. And at this point, honestly, after that happened, that really was just the nail in the coffin for me. I just absolutely had enough. And I will personally admit I regret what I'm about to do looking back at it, but at the point in time I didn't even give it a second thought. So yeah, we're going to pull it into the pit lane and I'm just going to park it and retire. As yeah, as I said, I didn't enjoy this at all. The frustration levels were really high, and yeah, that was just not fun. One of yeah, just a race I'm quite happy to forget, and yeah, just it just wasn't good in any way, really, was it? Yeah, so that's been today's video, guys. A bit of a downer, this one. Just a few quick things to get through as well. After this race, I've decided to step back to a reserve role for this league. Nothing against like the league itself or the competitors, but you know, to wake up at 6 AM on a Wednesday morning, to drive your backside off, and yeah, it's really just killing my motivation to not only race in TTML, but really just kind of killing the motivation to play F1 in general. So yeah, I decided just to take what I felt was the best step for me, and that was to step back to a reserve role. So yeah, I might still take part in future races, but yeah, it might only be 1 or 2, and that's assuming that, you know, there's even any spots available. But yeah, anyway, that's it for today. Hope you guys did enjoy the race nonetheless. I know it wasn't the brightest, and I really just didn't do a good enough job. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing more to say really. So hope you guys did enjoy the race nonetheless. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate the support on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.